I repeat with all the clarity and vehemence at my command that no one, repeat, no one has authenticated, confirmed as you put it, these cables as official. It would require only one letter from Stephen White to even suggest. One second. It would require even only a one-page letter from Stephen White to confirm that he ever wrote this letter or had this perception, or that he was told by somebody that somebody went and saw a chest of money. That is all that is required. That even is not available. What are you talking about incriminating evidence? Just consider the precedent and the nefarious and the absolutely unprecedented consequences of accepting this as a precedent. Every day, for every WikiLeaks, the country, the size and diversity of India must go rushing to start having investigations. It must go on reacting as if it's the gospel truth, without a verification of Mr. Satish Sharma, with a denial from Mr. Satish Sharma, with a denial from Nachiketa Kapoor, with a non-confirmation from Stephen White, with a unnamed, unidentified person. But let me go beyond that. There was an incident in 0708. The B.J.P. did its best to try to sensationalize. They went into parliament and did the most amazing sensationalism, carrying money in. Absolutely nothing was found at that time against Congress. There was something, in fact, suggested against the B.J.P. MPs who carried money in, and also against Mr. Amar Singh of the Samajwadi Party. Now, after that, an election was held. In 2009, an election was held, and it was fought inter alia on this plank also. Mr. Advani, who keeps dreaming of being the Prime Minister, at that time also said the Prime Minister. That election was held. I have to be given some time, or no? I have to be.
Yep, complete. Please complete.
Allow that. Let it be a monologue. Let Abhishek only speak today.
I was completing.
Let Abhishek only speak today.
Let me complete.
1 minute, gentlemen.
Okay.
Now,
go ahead.
After that, the election. On that election, a resounding political slap was given on many of these very allegations. This is nothing but the B.J.P. style of creating instability. They want you every time. Today, without waiting for a day, they passed a resolution. The Prime Minister was resigned. The Prime Minister of India was resigned because WikiLeaks is coming out. What kind of responsible politics is that?
I just don't find. I don't find a bribe of, crores in Parliament an everyday affair. And the whole question can also be asked about whether the probe into the cash votes was a total fallout, total washout. It could have been a total washout. What was the point of the probe? If today there is new evidence which emerges and you don't invest. I want to 1 minute. I want to get Mahesh Rangarajan into this, because many people across the country, they respect his analysis tonight. So I'm asking you, Mahesh, broadly, where do you see this going? You've seen the debate so far. You know what the substantial point in the Hindu article is. Where do you see this going?
I think it's interesting that, the key speaker from the government side, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, was a minister in '73 when some of the same key figures who spoke today, they were very active in the JP movement. And the main attack of the opposition, both BJP and CPM, is on the moral authority of the government. And I think that what they feel is that by taking this issue up, the political authority of the government will be damaged. Because we have been through several months of a succession of scams, Commonwealth Games, telecom, related and associated scams. But this particular issue, in a sense, puts the spotlight on the vote of July 2008, a very keenly fought vote, a very important debate, which of course the Manmohan Singh government won. And it then went on to, of course, win the subsequent election. And my sense is that the Congress party will unite around the Prime Minister and party leadership, partly because we don't know the veracity of this cable, whether what is contained in it is correct or not. But I think the concern in Congress will be the perception that the party leadership or the people close to the government leadership have been involved in trying to persuade MPs, rightly or wrongly. And I think this issue of public perception is something Congress party leadership and government leadership will pay attention to, irrespective of what they say in public. And I want to go back, in the 70s when Mrs. Indira Gandhi's government was under attack on charges of corruption, or in the 80s on the Bofors case, Congress normally responds by unifying and shifting a little bit to the left. It tries to reset the political agenda. Only one point of fact I want to make, that the JPC headed by Mr. Kishore Chandrajo did a very serious investigation. It is true that there was a division, but that is to be expected in a democracy. And there can be serious follow-up on the report submitted by that committee. Mr. Kishore Chandrajo is a very respected parliamentarian. He happens to be a congressman, but that was not a committee constituted by a party. It was a parliamentary committee and it conducted a very serious investigation. So institutionally, I think the damage can be contained if there is a follow-up on that report.
Yes, but there are 3 points made clear tonight, and Ravi Shankar Prasad, come back to you for a quick final round. 3 points are clear to me. A, the Prime Minister, at least tonight, is not responding. B, Abhishek Manu Singhvi's is the Congress line. There is no veracity, he says, to these documents. There is nothing to prove its authenticity. He puts the onus of proof on those who have published this. C, there is going to be no fresh investigation. There's already been an investigation, and this piece of paper is not going to lead to a fresh investigation. Therefore, Ravi Shankar Prasad, is this a one-day match that you fought today in Parliament?
Or no, the reply is very simple. As you rightly indicated very vaguely, and I'm putting it very bluntly, what stops the government from writing to the US government? Please ask Stephen White to confirm as to what is stated in the WikiLeaks is right or not referable to him. Why the need for the opposition to ask about it? Why the government is reluctant even to confirm that simple fact? Now, we have serious reservations about the committee report headed by Mr. Dev. But even if you see, apart from our dissent, the majority of you also mentioned about a follow-up inquiry. Why even that was not done? Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi talked about Amar Singh. Or now, can we forget that during those days, Mr. Amar Singh was in frequent touch with the Prime Minister? Come on, these are two documented, including on your channel. Can we forget the role of whistleblowers? Can we forget the role of many CDs which are caught as to how money was being paid? Therefore, the point is very simple. If democracy has been shamed, the moral authority of this government
Abhishek Manu Singhvi,
coupled with a series of...
I need to give a last rebut to Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Moral
to resign.
Okay, before we wrap up. Before we wrap up, it's a question of propriety and morality. Yes, Dr. Singhvi, quick word to you. Yes.
You are now down to what? You are now down to the B.J.P. admitting that there is nothing called evidence in an unverified communication.
I never said that.
That there is nothing which they have additionally. Yes. 1 minute. There is nothing they have additionally.
I never said that.
So they are saying, why can you not at least write? Why can't you at least write and confirm Mr. Stephen White? If you had anything, you should have said so by now. After this long discussion, you have nothing. You are saying that now consider the precedent, or not. You would have a situation where...
Come on, you said that.
Please don't interrupt me. Let me complete. Please don't interrupt me. Let me complete. If Julian Assange was around, you would have a WikiLeaks every day about the tango with Mr. Jaswant Singh did with Strobe Talbot for 6 long years. Now, is that a precedent which either the B.J.P. or the Congress must follow in India?
Well,
that each day there is a WikiLeaks, we must go running after the American government.
No, but
we must go running after the American government seeking verification. It is for those who make an allegation.
My question to you
is, I agree. 1 minute, the 2007-2008, 1 second. The 2007-2008 stands on a totally different footing. There is a parliamentary committee and its recommendations must be respected. I entirely agree. Nobody is suggesting that if there is a recommendation for a probe, the probe can be aborted. That probe is going on. 1 minute, 1 minute. If there is a probe and if there is a wrongful,
even on the
if there is a wrongful, 1 second. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad knows as well as anybody else, and he's trying to forget it, that if there is a probe which is not going through, if a wrong closure report is being filed, if there is any abortion of that, it can easily be challenged by anybody aggrieved. That's a very different thing from saying that today's WikiLeaks must lead to a probe or an investigation by the government.
Even in the wake of the committee's recommendation to the Parliament.
And as he's saying, yes, and he's saying the Prime Minister must resign. That, I repeat, is irresponsible politics. He must have waited for verification and filed something or produced something for verification before making that preposterous claim only to destabilize. Remember, when you do not win,
you will not take any follow-up.
I don't understand, gentlemen. I don't understand. Do you expect
after 2 years additional document comes, you will not take any action and call us irresponsible because you want to whitewash? Therefore, I say you have got no moral right to stay in power.
Okay,
Okay,
I have
now
to go to
point
the
here
program.
tonight is
Thank
I
you.
don't know if the American government is going to send out a letter. Thank you, Abhishek Manu Singhvi. I don't think it is realistic to expect the American government to send an attested letter saying that yes, we stand by this WikiLeaks and we hereby therefore also confirm that we were meddling in your affairs, we were getting into your political affairs, we have a deep interest in how your cabinets are formed, and we would like to know how much money is paid for each member of parliament. Now, we don't really sanely believe that even if the Americans were doing all of this, that they would admit it.